Hi, my name is Caleb Gross, and we are going to be talking about the Denali Fault. Alright, the evidence of plate boundaries in the Denali Fault, according to Earth Observatory.nasa, is a transformed plate boundary. This means that the boundaries attempt to grind past one another, and this is what causes earthquakes. And an example of an earthquake that happened semi-recently in Alaska was one that happened in 2002, and it was ranked a 7.9, which is one of the most powerful earthquakes that has ever happened within the United States, at least within the recorded history of the United States. The effects that the earthquake had on people, well, it actually didn't have a huge effect on people, mostly because Alaska, not a ton of people live there, so basically, well, the good news is no one was killed. There are a few people injured, but it actually had more financial effect, and it had a really devastating effect on the actual climate. There were a lot of rifts that go on there that are going on in Alaska, and it caused over $25 million in damage because it made huge cracks in roadways and houses and things like that. And according to the website I looked at, the fall is just something that the meteorologists and geologists are just trying to keep an eye on. Why did I choose this place? In 2002, I didn't really make this connection until now. I was at my house in Tennessee, and I remember hearing a very loud noise. It was just this huge boom noise. I asked my mom what it was, and she told me it was probably a sonic boom, because she lives in Ohio and that she heard those often because when planes went over. I was like, oh, okay. But the next day she told me it was an earthquake. I didn't really make this connection once again until just now, but I feel like that may have been the earthquake that actually happened in Alaska, because according to the website I looked at, the observatory one, the earthquake actually shook boats all the way in Louisiana from Alaska. That is really powerful. So the odds of me hearing it actually aren't that slim as long as I was in Tennessee. So I guess that's kind of my story. Any other information that I have, once again, this is one of the biggest earthquakes that's ever been recorded in the history of the United States. My story, once again, may not be accurate, but there was an earthquake in 2002. I called my mom to make sure I was right about that, and she said, yeah, there definitely was one. She doesn't know if it was that one because she doesn't remember. I guess the question I kind of have is, in the article I read, they mentioned they were going to be keeping an eye on the fault, so it doesn't happen in the San Andreas Fault. But I really find that, okay, they're trying to be careful that nothing happens in the San Andreas Fault. I find that kind of not pointless, because I feel like knowledge is good, but at the same time I find it irrelevant, if that makes sense. We can keep an eye on it all we want, but it doesn't change the fact if this happens in San Andreas Fault, these major cracks in the earth are going to happen in the big cities in California, and that's nothing we can change just by knowing it's going to happen. And even I don't know how we'd ever even predict it. We can't predict them now. Why? I don't know. I feel like them keeping an eye on it is irrelevant. It's going to happen whether but whether we control it or not. So my question is, why? And so that's my presentation. These are my references. Thank you for listening.